You're back on the Mountain Morning Show, and I'm joined by XTERRA athlete Emma Garrard, and she is participating in a really big event this weekend. The nation's biggest triathlon and trail running series is created, the ultimate XTERRA gathering here in Utah, and it takes place over at Snowbasin Resort in Ogden, the area. They have quite the full schedule. How are you, Emma?
Good. Great to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And some of you may know already, but if you don't, Emma lives here in Park City.
I do.
So it's nice to have you here. And to begin with, though, you actually won your first major at XTERRA England.
Correct.
Last month.
A month ago.
How did that go?
It went well because I came across the finish line first. I've had a lot of second place finishes this year, so it felt really good to take home the win, and had a lot of family there supporting. So yeah, it was a great event, and feels good to come into nationals with a win under my belt.
Very good. And explain the concept of XTERRA to those who may not be too familiar with actually how it works.
Yeah, it's an off-road triathlon. So you start off with a swim, open water swim in a lake or river or ocean, and then followed by a mountain bike ride, usually about 18 miles, usually with a lot of elevation gain, but the courses change a lot, and then followed by a 10-kilometer or 6-mile trail run.
Mm-hmm. So what's like your total mileage?
Yeah,
or do you just try not to think about that?
I try not to. So what is that? That's 18. So
I'm asking you.
24, about 25 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know, you're on a bike for a lot of it. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting this weekend?
Yeah, I'm expecting a competitive race. There's a pretty big international field for the pro women. So yeah, I'm expecting a battle out there. But
nice.
you know, I'm going for the win, so it's exciting.
That's amazing. And hopefully we're just checking out the weather. There's some rain off and on in some regions, so I think you'll be okay though.
Yeah, I mean, it's been warm and pretty dry out there, so I think even if it does rain, it's going to just help out the trail conditions, make it a little less dusty. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that, and it's been so warm here lately that the lake's not that cold. So
very good. And we're looking at some footage of last year's race right here. And when you look at things like this, do you ever think, I can't believe I got through that or did that? Or how is it for you at this point? Because honestly, you are a very seasoned athlete, so maybe it's not a huge jump for you.
It definitely gets my nerves up watching it, but yeah, it gets me excited too. So yeah.
And speaking of that, how do you prep for something like this? As an athlete, as you go in and out of competition, what is your training like to prep for something as physically taxing as this is? You know, I mean, I don't think it's a whole lot different than the average person in Park City. I train roughly 15 hours a week, so about 5 days in the pool. Similar with the bike and the run as well, and then yeah, just making sure I fuel my body and get enough rest, and definitely the week leading up to the event, yeah, making sure I'm rested and recovered in time to. I'm curious about your diet. How do you fuel yourself with how much you're doing?
Yeah, you know, a lot of carbohydrates, protein, vegetables, fruit. A lot of timing as far as like after a hard workout, making sure you eat quickly after and drink a lot of fluids, stuff like that. So.
Emma, tell me about the competition. There's a lot of incredible athletes that are lined up there with you participating in this, and that will be out there at Snowbasin and just enjoy. I mean, it really is going to showcase Utah in quite a phenomenal way, this race. But what is that like, being alongside all of these incredible athletes? Yeah, you know,
it's great. And then there's also, you know, the everyday athlete too in the same race. But yeah, there's quite a lot of Olympians and triathletes that are not only some of the best in XTERRA, but best in ITU, which is kind of the triathlon you see in the Olympics. So they're Olympic athletes. So yeah, it's exciting to be able to compete against them.
So share with me, maybe in your training or competition, what has been a major highlight for you? Obviously, what happened in England was a big deal, but as you've gone through your training and competition over time, what is a moment that has really stuck out to you that maybe kind of defined yourself moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, this race last year was definitely kind of a breakthrough race for me, and I've had pretty good results since then. So yeah, you know, it's great to have this race in Utah, national championships, and have a little bit of the home court advantage. And yeah, so that was definitely a a big moment for me. It was kind of my most successful race after becoming a mom. So yeah, felt special to be here in Utah and have my family here too. So
very cool. And that's an interesting question. How do you kind of juggle that, you know, family responsibility plus training plus everything else you have going on?
Yeah,
how do you manage that?
It is
There's
literally
plenty of women out there. I'm sure they're like, wow, she's able to do this.
It's literally juggling, you know, taking turns watching the baby. You know, I dropped him off at daycare before I came here this morning, and
you should have brought him. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, I know, I should have actually, but yeah. So you know, I have to a lot of time management and being
What
creative.
advice would you give to other moms, other parents that are, you know, trying to still attack these goals they have while raising a family, while doing this? I mean, that's a really big deal.
You obviously need to have a goal and be motivated, and a lot of times the hardest thing is just figuring out how to get out the door, and a lot of times you spend twice as long figuring out how to get out the door and have someone watch your kids so you can go for a run or a bike ride, but it's almost always worth it. So.
Well, it sounds like you make it work clearly because you have that goal in mind and you keep with it. And speaking of, we talked about a highlight that you've enjoyed in competing, but what is a challenge you've dealt with in competition and how did you overcome that?
I think
or have you? She's like,
no. At the moment, I'm with having a kid in daycare and just trying to stay healthy. So, you know, anyone who's got kids in school, they're just constantly sick. So it's hard to compete when you're sick. So that's a challenge. Or injuries are always a challenge, and you know, and then just trying to make a living being a professional endurance athlete is. You know, you'll never be rich, so it's you know, you're kind
of. But you sure do have a fun job.
It is. Yeah, it's super fun. I feel really grateful to be able to do it, but it's pretty similar to gambling, except
I've never heard it compared to that.
Yeah, no, it is. You know,
I guess it would work.
You know, your income is based on results a lot of the time, so it is challenging, and you know, trying to stay healthy for the races, stuff like that. But
well, it's certainly an inspiration to others. What advice would you give out there to other people that are like, man, I really want to get into something that I could enjoy, maybe not at the level that you are, but clearly it's something that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
how do you keep going?
I think, yeah, definitely try it. I mean, I think it encourages you to live a healthy lifestyle. So, yeah, you know, and it's so good to just have a goal, and that'll inspire you to get out the door every day. And with off-road triathlon, you know, you're swimming, mountain biking and trail running, and those are just really fun things to do, and yeah, keeps variety in your life, and you don't really get bored of the training. So
you, for how much training you have to do, you definitely would have to keep with it, and I don't think you'd get bored at all. But what's your favorite aspect of the triathlon? Do you like the running?
Yeah, I love
swimming?
I love the running, but I love the combination of the three, and you know, every time you cross the finish line, you feel like you've accomplished something, no matter what place you finish. So yeah, it's a good combo. So.
Very good. And then last of all, I don't know if you want to reveal, but do you have like any favorite places you love to be in the outdoors here in Utah, where you do your running or your biking? Because I mean, there's so many good choices.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many trails right from my door in Park City, and you know, with the little one now, time is definitely limited. So I usually go right from the door. But
whatever's closest.
Yeah, I spend so much time just up in the you know, Park City Mountain Resort area, and Round Valley and Lost Prospector, and you know, it's really nice to go up into the Uintas when I can, but don't get to do that too often. But yeah, we're definitely killed for choice as far as trails are concerned in Park City.
Absolutely. So when does the race kick off?
9 o'clock on Saturday morning. Okay. So it'll be about a 3-hour race for the elite women.
Right up there at Snowbasin.
So yeah, so it starts at the reservoir and then the transition's up at the lodge. So.
And how many hours do you expect to be out?
Yeah, so it'll be just under 3 hours for the for me, and then probably the elite men more like 2:30, 2:45. So.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. Good luck.
Thank you.
This weekend. That is just phenomenal. And of course, awesome to have that representation right here from Park City. So good luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
On it was a little girl or a boy?
Boy.
A boy.
Torin.
What's his name?
Torin.
Torin. That's so cute. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Emma Garrard, she'll be competing in XTERRA this weekend. Go out and cheer for her and all the other athletes. It's going to be a phenomenal race. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we get back, we have much more happening right here on the Mountain Morning Show, including the Make-A-Wish Foundation.